democracy and freedom in Myanmar.
One of the scientists responsible for developing the Oxford-AstraZeneca coronavirus vaccine in Britain has warned that a future pandemic could be even more lethal. Professor Dame Sarah Gilbert said funding was needed to ensure knowledge gained over the last 2 years was not lost.
We cannot allow a situation where we have gone through all we have gone through and then find that the enormous economic losses we have sustained mean that there is still no funding for pandemic preparedness. The experts who responded rapidly and worked relentlessly in 2020 and 2021, without whom we would still be at the mercy of the virus, must not now be asked to fade back into patient and underfunded obscurity.
Professor Gilbert said there was no reason why a universal flu vaccine could not be developed. Emergency crews in Indonesia have been forced to suspend their search for 27 people missing after a volcanic eruption due to strong winds and the threat of more ash. Mount Semeru, the biggest volcano on the island of Java, erupted on Saturday, killing at least 15 people. Rescuers have been trying to dig through the ash, soaked with rainwater, to look for survivors before the resulting mud hardens. President Putin is visiting Delhi today for a summit with the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The two are expected to sign several deals, including the delivery of fighter planes. With more, here's Rajini Vaidyanathan.
Russia is India's largest arms supplier. Much will be made today of the sale of S-400 surface-to-air missiles, which are now being delivered here. The US has said it's unhappy with India over this purchase and has threatened sanctions against it. But Delhi's strategic importance in countering China in the region might be why it's unlikely to take action.
The President of South Africa says the country is preparing for more hospital admissions as the Omicron coronavirus variant continues to spread. Cyril Ramaphosa said the number of daily infections has increased fivefold. News from the BBC. Israeli security forces say they've shot dead a Palestinian teenager after he drove a car into a military checkpoint in the occupied West Bank. An Israeli guard at the checkpoint was seriously injured. The incident took place near the city of Tulkarem. Police in the northeastern Indian state of Nagaland have launched a probe against soldiers over the killing of 14 civilians at the weekend. They say the commandos opened fire on a miner's van without any provocation. The military said its troops mistook the labourers for insurgents. The Hong Kong authorities say the Wall Street Journal newspaper may have broken the law by publishing an editorial that said casting blank ballots in upcoming elections was one of the last ways to voice dissent. It concluded that the polls were a sham vote because only pre-vetted candidates were allowed to run. Hong Kong Secretary for Constitutional and Mainland Affairs warned the paper that it's now an offence to encourage others to boycott the polls or to cast spoiled ballots. Grime and drill artists have taken the major prizes at this year's MOBO Awards, which recognise the best in black music from Britain and beyond. It was the first in-person ceremony for 4 years. Mark Savage was there.
The MOBOs finally returned. Drill music took centre stage, with the #1 hit Body winning Best Single. Drill rapper Central C won Best Newcomer, but had mixed feelings.
I don't know how I feel about award shows, to be fair, but if there was one that I'd accept an award from, it would be the MOBOs.
15 years into his career, grime star Getz won his first ever MOBO for Best Male, and an overwhelmed Little Sims was named Best Female.
I'm very, very speechless right now. I'm in the dream that I always dreamed about when I was young.
Nobody. That report from Mark Savage, and that's the BBC News.
Hello, I'm Sana Safi, and this is the program that explores the world we live in through the work and the voices of artists. Welcome to the Cultural Frontline. Afghanistan is the country I call home, and throughout my career as a journalist, I have told the story of its people through conflicts, to crises, and now through a historic change in government. This August, 20 years after the US invasion of Afghanistan, the Taliban returned to power. Today, on the Cultural Frontline, we are speaking to designers, musicians, and creatives who shaped the art and culture of Afghanistan, about its cultural legacy and its creative future. Coming up, using their instruments for change, We hear from the all-female orchestra fighting to keep Afghanistan's musical traditions alive.
We are playing music because we want to show another Afghanistan to the world. We want to show the beauty of Afghanistan.
We ask, what's the future for arts, media, and culture in Afghanistan on this week's Cultural Frontline. Afghanistan was once filled with music, especially the sounds of traditional instruments such as the rubab and the tabla drums. By the time I was a young girl, that had changed. When the Taliban first came to power in the 1990s, most music was outlawed, and there were harsh punishments for those caught playing or listening to music. Instruments were destroyed, and musicians went into hiding. The only musical instrument I knew when growing up was called dirya. It was only because women could play it in family gatherings. It is a version of the tambourine. Over the past 20 years, there had been a musical renaissance in Afghanistan. But following the Taliban's return to power, music is again under threat. The new authorities have not yet issued an official decree banning music specifically, but in August, Taliban militants were accused of executing a folk singer in northern Baghlan province. A loose set of media rules released by the Taliban has prohibited the production and broadcast of any content contrary to Islam, which almost all hardliners who are now running the country believe includes music. One organization that has been fighting to keep music alive in Afghanistan is the Afghanistan National Institute of Music, or ANAM. ANAM is a trailblazing organization that taught both boys and girls, including orphans and street children. Their music school was also home to Zuhra, Afghanistan's internationally acclaimed all-female orchestra. It was the first and only one of its kind and was considered a prime Taliban target. Now, following the Taliban's takeover of the country, the doors of the celebrated school have closed. Its hallways have fallen silent, and steps were taken to find its musicians a new home outside of Afghanistan. I spoke to one of the Zuhra Orchestra's lead musicians about leaving their home and how they're fighting to keep Afghan music alive.
I'm a conductor of Zuhra Orchestra, and in the same time I have been playing the percussion for 8 years. Music means a lot to me. Music is beautiful, music is love. I have learned more things from music. I never give up, love and special hope. And what I love about music is its ability to change my mood instantly. When we were in Afghanistan, the situation was really bad, and the only thing that helped me, it was only music.
How do you feel the orchestra represents the people of Afghanistan?
I think Zuhra is a small Afghanistan, and I think we are the voice of Afghanistan. So we are playing music because we want to show another Afghanistan to the world. We want to show the beauty of Afghanistan. In our orchestra, we have different instruments. We played also Afghan instruments and other instruments. In Afghan instruments, we have rubab and sitar, which is from Indian instruments, and sitar, rubab, khichak, tabla.
And what about tambour, darya, zir baghali?
Zir baghali, yeah.
Yeah.
There's one there.
And what are your favorite pieces to perform?
Zindagi Akhir Sarayat, it's, I think, song of Ahmad Zahir. It's my favorite old song.
Zindagi Akhir Sarayat. I love Ahmad Zahir. I listen to him. Ahmad Zahir is the Elvis of Afghanistan.
I love this song because when sometimes when I'm sad, when I hear to this song, it always makes me a hope for the future of my life.
Why did you feel you had to leave your home in Afghanistan?
The situation was really bad, especially for musicians, so we could not play a music there anymore. And leaving a country, as you know, it's really hard. We lived because it was the only way that we can save our music.
Did you feel threatened?
Yes. Actually, I was sad, but I was also feel hope and light because I was happy for continuing my music again and conduct the orchestra again. So I was happy for that. The first day that Taliban took the Kabul, and that day I was at school. I was really shocked and I was so sad. When the Taliban took the Kabul, the first picture came to my mind was I cannot go to school anymore, I cannot continue my music anymore, and to be honest, accepting all those things was really hard for me.
Did you manage to take anything with you? One of your instruments, perhaps, from the school?
No, I didn't take anything.
So they entered the school, the Taliban entered the school?
Yeah, and they also broke most of our instruments.
How do you feel about that?
I feel really sad about it.
How are you feeling about the future for you and the Zohra Orchestra?
It's approximately 100 tons. Think of it about 40 meters onwards. Basically, 90% of the world's trade is transported by sea. You're talking about 400 million containers every year. And that's all carried on large vessels. So everything you order for Christmas, all the oil, all the crude, all the oil products, the wheat, the grain, the coal, all of these are absolutely being tracked by our platform globally for the last 8 or 9 years now.
And who are the main customers? I assume the insurance industry must be pretty prominent among them.
Well, absolutely. We work with 8 of the 13 insurance companies in the international group of P&I clubs. But we also work with multiple governments, with multiple energy companies, including BP and Shell, financial institutions, HSBC, Standard Chartered, OCBC, Danske Bank, and other shipping companies. And we're absolutely on a growth trajectory. We're super optimistic because next year is going to be big for us. We plan a few important product launches financed by the capital from this IPO, predominantly on carbon emissions management, as well as logistics and ocean freight visibility.
And how do you charge customers? Do they take out a subscription, or is it on a sort of pay-as-you-go basis?
So software as a service, so it's subscription, 99% of the revenue of the company. It's exactly like Salesforce, as you mentioned before. You pay, you log in, and instantaneously you can use the platform. No issue.
Yeah, you've got some very impressive investors. I mean, I mentioned Mark Benioff of Salesforce. Lord Brown, the former BP chief executive, he's another investor. How did you get these people on board?
So Lord Brown is also our active chairman. He was just with us at the London Stock Exchange. It was a very exciting moment for us, and I'm also proud to be calling him my personal mentor. I guess that these people saw in both founders the potential and the potential in the product and in the market. So these people, because they do business on a global level, they understand the importance of world trade, the importance of this global supply chain, the importance of shipping and trading to the world, and believe that with deep technology you can actually build a differentiated business, which is hopefully what got us into this point today, but obviously also why we believe we're only at 1% of our journey.
And well, it's very interesting. You mentioned just now emissions data and all the rest of it, and presumably that is going to be quite a big part of the business going forward over time.
Absolutely. We launched a program called Data for Decarbonization for all the shipping and trading organizations to partner with us and build a solution for the industry. And if you track COP26, which I'm sure you do, as well as the International Chamber of Shipping manifest, you understand that everybody knows the problem, but not many people know what the solution is. So actually with AI, we're able to optimize commercial decisions and reduce the carbon per voyage by up to 20%, which I think could be huge.
All right, Emi Daniel, very good to talk to you this morning. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Well, still to come here on Ian King Live, we'll be taking a look at how the markets are doing this Monday morning.
That has both sides, and it's moving this way.
Only about half a mile from the Turkish coast, and it's evident that is the boat seriously overcrowded. This is one of the most severe viruses in the world. I'm Alex Crawford and I'm Sky's special correspondent based in Istanbul.
This is going to be the biggest party Tripoli has ever seen.
That's it got us then. There's a lot of action going on, a lot of hits coming in still. We aim to be the best and the most trusted place in news.
Clearly not had very much to eat at all, a lot of them extremely thin and very frail.
Look at her arms, I can put my entire hand round. This is the cocktail of drugs which the doctors at this hospital have been giving their coronavirus patients. Made for people who want clarity in an uncertain world.
Mother Nature can be vicious, absolutely savage. The world's largest falls now down to a trickle in places. I can't imagine how much plastic is lying at the bottom of this huge lake.
Whoa! Close and personal with a rhino.
This is what makes the job so fantastic.
Welcome back. Now, the UK Trade Secretary will use a visit to the United States this week to push for an end to tariffs on British steel and aluminium imposed during the Donald Trump presidency. Anne-Marie Trevelyan is holding talks in New York and Washington, D.C. over the next few days. So what can be achieved? Well, hopefully joining me now to discuss this is the Minister for Investment at the Department for International Trade, Lord Grimstone. Jerry Grimstone, welcome to you this morning. I mean, what is success going to look like?
I think that's quite straightforward, Ian. I think success is, pushing forward even further the fantastic relationships that we have with our friends in the US. As you know, they are incredibly important to us on the whole trade and investment agenda. We couldn't do without them. Interestingly, they couldn't do without us. And it will be the first time that Secretary of State Trevelyan will have been there in her new role face-to-face with them. So I think she's going to do a fantastic job for us. We also have our Minister for Trade Policy, Penny Mordaunt, off almost at the same time to visit some of the US states. People forget sometimes how important they are. People forget that if California was a country, it would be the 5th largest in the world. So Penny Mordaunt will be off doing her stuff there to complement what Secretary of State Trevelyan is doing, and I'm expecting some really positive outcomes from the trip.
I mean, clearly these Trump-era tariffs on steel and aluminium are a headache. What can you do to allay Washington's concerns about Northern Ireland? Because that seems to be the stumbling block.
Well, look, I think as was so eloquently stated in the House of Commons last week, it is a false narrative to try to link the Northern Ireland Protocol to these tariffs. These tariffs are very specific. They are harming British industry. They are acting to the detriment of US customers. So I'm sure that what the Secretary of State will do will want to be to focus on that and not have it, frankly, confused by other topics which, though are very important, are actually nothing to do with the subject in hand.
I understand that they're nothing to do with the subject in hand, but clearly the Americans or the Biden presidency appears to want to connect the two.
Well, look here, you're an old hand at this game. You've been in it almost for more years than I have, I think. And, in any negotiation, things are said, things are put on the table. But I'm very hopeful that some discussions will go very well between our Secretary of State and the US Trade Representative.
I mean, we have retaliatory products on US bourbon, whiskey and other products as well. I mean, could those go as some sort of compromise?
These things always end up being packages. That's the nature of trade. It's a two-way matter, and in some ways that's why eventually trade disputes do get sorted, because they are of major benefit to both participants. The US has already dealt with the EU on this, so there's a pathway to doing it, and I'm sure this is one of the topics that will feature very heavily in the talks. And it's so important that it does, because this may seem a technical thing to some of the listeners, but for our steel companies, for the jobs they provide, it's a really important matter.
Now, what about the prospects of a wider US-UK trade deal? I mean, the Biden presidency doesn't seem to be in any great rush to do this.
No, I think that's completely true. Look, we were making very good progress. I was looking at my old papers just before this interview, and I was just reminding myself that we had 5 rounds completed last year. We felt that we were making good progress. A lot of interest across all levels of US society. Then President Biden comes in. As often happens when you get a new president, new prime minister coming in, they have priorities they have to deal with immediately. But I should put on record that President Biden is certainly not against a trade agreement with the UK, but he said, and I can say understand it, he wanted to deal with some of his domestic priorities first. Like all of us, he was having to deal with the terrible effects of COVID and the coronavirus. And I tell you, Ian, it has been, remarkable. Of course, absolutely right that it should have happened. The amount of bandwidth that COVID has sucked out of governments around the world is truly phenomenal. It's the right thing, but of course it's meant that, some governments haven't made, as much progress as they might have wished on other matters.
Sure.
There's good pressure from American business to do it. There's a lot of people in the US want to do it. There's a lot of people here want to do it. These things are complex, but I'm pretty confident that we'll see this back on the table, and then hopefully it will be negotiated to a very successful conclusion.
I mean, it's been suggested in the not too distant past that the UK might seek entrance to the USMCA, the free trade deal between the US, Canada and Mexico. Is that likely in the near future?
I think generally speaking, you do one thing at a time when you're doing trade negotiations. I mean, I can give you an illustration. We've applied to join the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is going to be hugely beneficial to the UK economy. But our route into that has been, of course, already concluded a very successful FTA with Japan, who are chairing the Trans-Pacific Partnership talks. We're at agreement in principle stage with Australia, with New Zealand, who are vital members of Trans-Pacific Partnership. So these things are kind of brought together by, layering it up, bringing that person in, that person in. These are complex, multilateral, global negotiations. The good news is that we've got fantastic teams doing it, and I think actually we have completed more trade deals in the last 2 years than any other nation has ever done. So the team is humming, and I'm just looking forward to all this being moved forward and more being signed in due course.
All right, Jerry Grimstone, Lord Grimstone, good to talk to you this morning. Thank you. Well, stocks in the Asia-Pacific region closed lower following Friday afternoon's sell-off on Wall Street following some disappointing US jobs data. Well, Sydney was more or less unchanged, but elsewhere, Tokyo and Shanghai finished lower. Mumbai and Hong Kong were both off by more than 1%. Well, in Europe, however, markets have traded to the upside since the open a couple of hours ago or so. Here's the current picture. As you can see, all the main indices are in positive territory right now. Talking points include the French building materials supplier Saint-Gobain. Shares in that company ahead by 1.5% in Paris after it agreed to pay $2.3 billion for a US construction chemicals business. Well, here in London, the FTSE 100 is also in positive territory, some 46 points to the good. They're up 2/3 of 1% higher. It's a pretty broad-based rally, to be honest. The leading gainer is the drug maker Hikma Pharmaceuticals. Its shares currently ahead by just under 3%. That's on news of a collaboration to support schizophrenia patients, while BT Group, its shares are ahead 1.5% or so on reports of possible talks with Discovery over its BT Sport arm. In the same sector, look at that, Vodafone, top of the screen there, it's up 1.5% right now. That is on some French media reports that it discussed a merger with Orange, which is the renamed France Telecom, earlier this year. Outside the FTSE, the transport operator First Group, its shares are up 9% right now. That appears to be just down to broker comment, but that's quite a substantial increase on the day. The shipping services group Clarkson, its shares are also ahead by some 6%. That's after it received a push from one of the brokers. But the subprime lender Amigo Holdings is off by 18% after providing firm details of a £97 million rescue fundraising. On the foreign exchange markets, the pound has rallied slightly against the US dollar after selling off against the greenback on Friday afternoon. It's currently a fifth of 1% higher against the dollar. It's up a quarter of 1% right now against the euro. As for the oil price, well, that's higher this morning after Saudi Arabia raised prices for crude to be sold to the US and some customers in Asia. A barrel of Brent crude right now will set you back $71.39 a barrel. That's up just over 2% higher. Well, joining me now is Anna Stupnitska. She's the economist at Fidelity International. Anna, very good morning to you. The jobs report on Friday afternoon from the US was pretty disappointing, wasn't it? Are you surprised to see Europe rallying this morning?
Well, it was disappointing on the headlines. So there was a big miss on non-farm payroll numbers, but actually the household survey showed that the participation rate rose. So these are people going back into the labor force, and the unemployment rate fell. So this is actually indicating a very strong labor market. We might actually see some upward revision to the non-farm payroll headlines. So actually, if we look at the overall picture, it's still pretty strong, and that means the Fed is likely to continue being quite hawkish.
I mean, obviously, Anna, we had that big shift, as you say, from the Fed last week to a more hawkish point. I mean, it feels like we're getting quite a lot of volatility for the time of year right now.
Well, this was the main news in the markets really last week. Powell saying that perhaps inflation is not transitory. Actually, it's not. It is more persistent. And so they're looking at accelerating the timeline for tapering and potentially accelerating the timeline for rate hikes. Now, this can be problematic to markets, to risk markets. It depends on the overall financial conditions. If they become tighter, then it will be harder for emerging markets, for example, to get funding, etc. So I'm not surprised by volatility, because we had the hawkish shift from the Fed, which is based on the strength of the US economy. But then you have other issues going on, and of course the Omicron variant is one of them.
Now, obviously, Anna, we led the programme with revised lower growth forecasts for the UK. For forecasters like you, this is an absolute nightmare situation, isn't it, Omicron? I mean, how on earth do you factor what the government might do in response into your forecasts? Yeah,
no, it's very hard. We know that the economy has been less sensitive to restrictions in subsequent waves relative to the first wave. And so it's not going to be such a big impact, but of course some tightening will have an effect on activity. It's hard to predict, as you say, but I think there will be some differentiation across countries, and clearly we are seeing much more in Europe and the UK now in terms of the reaction versus to the US.
All right, Anna, we have to leave it there. Good to see you as ever. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, still to come here on Ian King Live. Digital first.
Uganda and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world not just and 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life, every Tuesday 8 p.m. only on Star Radio.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Star Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Star Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Broadcasting live online. Turn it on. Turn it up.
It's your man. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Star Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Star Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie.
Everything is gonna be alright.
And that is exactly how I welcome you to today's edition of the morning show. Today is Monday, the 6th day of December, the year 2021. So how many days for the Christmas? I call it 19 days on. But I want to welcome you all to today's edition of the morning show. And as I will bring my normal salutation. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. We want to salute you all and we'll welcome you to today's edition of the morning show. Of course, I've not changed. I still remain the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
But I wanted to share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Good morning to my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olaimi Kojodi, and then to the one and only HRH Linda Pallien all the way in Cyprus. A special good morning to my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, and then all the way in Aberdeen, Felix, morning to you. To our listeners in the US, those of you in Europe, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia, those of you on the African continent, I want to salute you all and welcome you to today's edition of the morning show. And a special good morning also goes to Grace Fadele of Fadele, okay? Now when she comes, she's going to mention the name properly, the way it's supposed to be. But I want to welcome you all to my special guests. Also, welcome to the show. But to my listeners on the African continent, especially those of you in Nigeria, in Ghana, South Africa, Australia, and Tocino in Moscow. Tocino, how are you doing? It's been quite a long time. Hope you've not been frozen out. Okay. So share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. It is the Monday edition of the morning show. So if it's the first time of tuning in to listen to what this how the program goes on Mondays, I'm going to bring you the quote for the day. The weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel updates as well. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. Known as Global Trotting. Then after that, exactly at 11 o'clock, I will bring you updates from Nigeria. As I told you, Mr. Olaimi is on his break now. So he'll be resuming sometime next week. Yes, and he's got a lot of stuff to bring your way. But until then, I have to hold the fort. So wherever you are, don't you even think of touching the dial at all. Everybody. Bring you some more songs from Akasebring Pong. But yeah. Don't you worry. God is working. And I promise you to bring you that one again. I know a few of my listeners have said that. Yeah, that's the one we wanted to listen to. Yes, enjoy it. And as I said the other time, there is nothing that a good reggae tune cannot solve in the morning for you, especially when it's a gospel one. What about that? Okay, so now after that update from Nigeria, we'll move on to some of the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Starting from home here in the UK, Omicron virus, the new strain. How is it faring? Well, some of the story that is making the rounds on the African continent as well, I'm going to be bringing it your way. Then at 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. I should be having Kojodi joining me on the review as well. But before then, if you want to post your comments on our Facebook page, feel free to do so. Go to our Facebook page and put your comments there. You can tweet at us as well. We are streaming live on Twitter. Go there and share that with us. You can also go to our own app, the Starr Radio UK app. You go Starr Global, and then you can share that as well. Put your comments there, and I tell you, we'll be able to share it with our listeners, of course. Then at 12:30 exactly, the maiden interview with the CEO of Gabbydave.com. You want to know more about what Gabbydave is? Make sure your dials are so loud on Starr Radio UK. She's going to be telling you some wonderful stuff about Gabbydave, a new way to trade, and what? Get into comments. Okay, so that is exactly at 12:30, between 12:30 and 12:45. Then after that, at 12:45 exactly, we'll be having HRH Linda Pallien all the way from Cyprus. We'll be bringing you Career 101. Is your career suffering some uncertainties there? You're not very happy about the job that you are doing. You think that your bosses are getting on your nerves. You don't know what move to make. You are yet to even decide on what job next to go to. How can you tell your job to something that you really love? Well, you want to know more about that? Make sure exactly at 12:45 you join us on Career 101 with HRH Linda Pallien. Then exactly at 1 o'clock, the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. So in a gist, that is what's going to be happening today. It's now gone 11 minutes to the top of the hour. So let me start it here. The quote for the day says, your time and resources are limited. Invest them wisely. Your time and resources are limited. So what? Invest them wisely. Don't waste time. Don't waste time. And go with time wasters as well. Make sure that whatever you do, you maximize the time that you have and the resources that you have. They are all scarce, you know. Okay, so now let's go straight to the weather front. Let me tell you what is happening on the weather front here in the UK, especially in London and the southeast of England. Now this afternoon, a band of rain will continue moving in from the west. Rain will be rather heavy and persistent in places. Rain will ease towards the end of the afternoon. And this evening, we'll see the rain clearing away to the east with clear skies developing behind it. Tonight, it will be dry with plenty of clear spells and it will be cold. The temperature is going to be 7 degrees. The lower is going to be -1 degree. Now UV level is going to be low. Pollution is going to be low as well. Sunset 15:53 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 07:50 hours. And that brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you today. Monday, the 6th day of December, the year 2021. And a special good morning to Mr. Ebenezer Hammond all the way in South Africa, Cape Town to be specific. Chantel, I hope that you guys are all doing very well. Yeah, and keeping yourself safe as well. Well, you want to know more about what is happening there, we're going to be bringing you more on that front. So wherever you are, don't you go away, just stay tuned. Take a quick break and now we come back and I bring you the travel update. So stay tuned, don't you go away.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, so keep it navigated. I promise I'll on the Starr Radio travel update. I can see way every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:51 from the House of London. So how's your travel this morning? Let me tell you what is happening in the UK front. Now on the underground this morning, on the London Underground, the Northern Line has got minor delays due to train cancellation. So if you can avoid them, do your best to avoid that. That aside, you know, Waterloo and City Line has got suspension there. It's partly suspended. Okay, that aside, all the others have got good service. Now, moving on straight to the DLR. The DLR, no service between Bank, Tower, Gateway, and Canary Wharf and Canning Town while they fix a signal failure at Shadwell. Good service on all other routes. Tickets are being accepted on London Underground via any reasonable route. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads, and we keep you navigated. London Overground, TFL Rail, London Tramlane, good service there. I'm moving on straight to the riverbeds this morning. Apart from the Woolwich Ferry that's got special service, all the others have got good service. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the road as we keep you navigated. Now moving on straight to the National Rail. On the National Rail this morning, Cheltenham Railways has got special service, Great Western Railway special service, and Scott Rail special service there as well. Now let's move on to the final segment of the travel update. That's the major roads in London. Let me tell you what is happening on that front. Now, A4 has got closures, Central London Red Roads closures, and A20 serious delays, Blackwall Tunnel serious delays. So I beg of you to do your best to avoid that stretch of road. But however, if you are stuck in there, continue to listen to us, cause as and when there are any changes, I promise you I'll bring it to the fore. So on that note, as I would normally say, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
Hi guys, this is your friend Urush from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria,
Welcome
Kenya,
to
Uganda, and
Gabbydave
Tanzania.
Global.
And the best part is,
we are a
SendWave is
UK-based
absolutely
online
commission-free.
e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabbydave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabbydave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far.
Show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business, but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
God is working. Tell you everybody up to something.
In your car, at home,
on your smartphone.
Okay, welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 4 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's go global trotting. And as I say all the time, if you're sitting, sit very comfortably. If you're standing, hold on to something. Yeah, get yourself a hot or cold drink, whichever is appropriate. And I can tell you one thing for sure. Your safe arrival at the destination of knowing everything that is happening from across the globe. My goodness, you're going to arrive there in peace, not in pieces.
My God is never.
Alright then, so what is happening from across the globe? On Global Trotting?
Right on time.
Well, Omicron could be dominant in UK within weeks, experts are saying. Early signs suggest that the variant will spread quickly in the UK, says microbiologist Professor Paul Hunter. So what is your take? Do you think that maybe we need to put Christmas on hold? Some people are saying that you're getting crazy, man. Well, it's a question that I need to put across, and therefore I'm just putting it across as it is. But it is all Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. On Global Trotting. Now, so staying on in the UK. Next pandemic could be more lethal. Job creator says more funding is needed to prepare for pandemics and prevent gains from being lost. Dame Sarah Gilbert has said. So what do you think is going to happen there? The next pandemic, will we be here? We're looking at the last pandemic that came. That was about 100 years ago. So maybe we will not be here. that is thinking that's going to come 100 years on. Okay then. Some other stories now. Science HGV driver shortage will ease. Straight Group is saying fewer drivers are leaving the profession. Logistics UK says, but more action is needed to attract recruits. Are you listening to me? Do you want to get there? Well, breaking guidance was leadership failure. Who says that? Hancock. The former health secretary, Matt Hancock, tells the BBC he is sorry for all the people he let down. Well. Sorry seem to be their finest word. All right then. Now we'll tackle 300,000 problem drug users. Prime Minister is saying a new drug strategy will see investment in treatment and a crackdown in gangs. The government has said. I'll bring you more on that front. Quite an interesting story to see or to read. Aung San Suu Kyi sentenced to 4 years in jail. This is the first verdict delivered for the ex-leader of Myanmar, who faces a total of 11 charges. The Colombian rebel leader El Pazia killed in ambush. The feared ex-FARC commander was notorious for his bloody guerrilla attacks and kidnapping. He's been shot dead. And in the US, Bob Dole has passed. Tributes have been paid across the US political divide to the late Republican leader Bob Dole. You remember him? Yeah. Starr Radio UK.
Little thing is gonna be alright now.
Well, in Indonesia, yes, villages have been buried under hot ash. Rescuers are searching for survivors after Mount Semeru erupted in eastern Java on Saturday. Well, in France as well, far-right French candidate grabbed at rally. A man grabs Eric Zemmour by the neck at the far-right presidential candidate's first rally. Why don't I like him to, also contest free and fairly? Well, it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK on Global Trotting. And moving on straight to the African continent to look at what is happening there as well. Last Friday, before we left, we were talking about the election that is going to be taking place in Gambia. Well, Gambia incumbent declared election winner. The Electoral Commission names Adama Barrow the winner despite his opponents questioning the vote. Back in the day, some years, about 4 or 5 years ago, when he also contested against Yahya Jammeh, he was crying foul. Now the opposition are also crying foul against him. Now what is he going to do about that? Well, we're looking into that story in a moment. Rwanda ex-prison director jailed for stealing from inmates. I will keep holding on. Well, MTN to make COVID vaccines mandatory for staff. Africa's biggest mobile phone firm says it will terminate employment contracts for non-compliance. Why is somebody going to take them to court? Well, we're going to be seeing more on that front. That is all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Nigeria has been added to the UK travel red list over Omicron. Some of the stories making the rounds there. The police have confirmed death of 9 children found inside abandoned car in Lagos. Let me bring you more on that front. And leaders chat part to strengthen US-Nigeria business ties. Fine, no problem. Good business for the country. Yes, prosperous for them. Well. I'll bring you more on that front when it comes to updates from Nigeria. That'll be coming your way pretty soon.
God is working it out.
Well, Sonny Olu to also investigate Darwin College students. That's one of the stories making the rounds there. So wherever you are, just stay tuned. Don't you go away. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio students. radio station in London. Why am I saying student? Because the student story is quite a troubling one, and I'm going to be bringing you more on that front. Now, Ghana's weak exchange rate has exposed Bawumia, who is speaking, the former Bank of Ghana governor, and also former I'm going to say the Chancellor of the Exchequer. Well, in Ghana, we don't have the Chancellor of the Exchequer. We have what? We have the Minister for Finance and Economic Planning. We're going to be looking into that. I'm not MPP Mo. It's wicked propaganda before it's saying. Some people are thinking that he's a Mo. But the MPP who is been said there to ruffle or take the wind out of the sail of the NDC's presidential candidate. No, he's not. Okay, the former president and the former presidential candidate, President Mahama, there. We'll be looking more into those stories as well. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Result to dialogue, consensus building. MPC tells Parliament the National Peace Council has urged Parliament to employ dialogue and consensus building with the current happenings in the House over the approval of the 2022 budget, in a statement seen by some media networks there. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We're going to take a break. Once we come back, I'll bring you updates from Nigeria and a lot more happening everywhere across the globe. It is the morning show, of course. I am Archie. Stay tuned. Don't you go away. This afternoon, exactly at 5 o'clock, the On Point Show will also be coming your way. Hosted by Empress Regina Enima, or Queen, as we call her now. So, you have to make sure that you join her on that program. Stay tuned. Don't you go away.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe helps to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa Claus is on his way. He's bringing lots of toys for them to play, and every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering the simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry, Merry Christmas to you. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the hills we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. Oh, what fun to laugh and sing a sleighing song tonight. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Ding dong, Christmas bells are ringing. Caroling, caroling, now we go. Christmas bells are ringing. Caroling, caroling through the snow. Christmas bells are ringing. Joyous voices sweet and clear sing the sad of hearts to cheer. Ding dong, Christmas
This is Caribbean Vibes.
All around the world.
In your car, at home.
This is Starr Radio
UK.
Let us receive our care. Let every heart prepare room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let us receive our King. I'll be home for Christmas. You can plan on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents on the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas, if only my dreams.
Well, something good coming your way, preparing you for the Christmas wherever you are. Hope that you're enjoying the tune this morning. Yes, 19 days more for the Christmas, and I can tell you over the weekend when I was out and about looking around, people very, very busy shopping, those who are going for their end of year parties and name it. Stuff like that going on. Well, I hope that you are keeping yourself safe, whatever it is, because as you know, the Omicron virus is making its debut across the globe, and therefore care has to be taken wherever you are. Care has to be taken, and I hope you are doing that as well. So now let's move on straight to the updates from Nigeria from here on Starr Radio UK. So what is happening when it comes to the stories or updates from Nigeria? Well, first and foremost, the Nigeria has been added to the red list when it comes to travel bans to the UK. So what is at stake for them? Interestingly, now if you are traveling from Nigeria to this part of the world, that means that Nigeria has become the latest country to be added to Britain's travel red list, which imposes stringent coronavirus testing and quarantine restrictions on people who wish to enter. They will have to pay for and self-isolate in a pre-booked government-approved hotel for 10 days. Now, 10 Southern African countries have already been added to the travel red list because the fears about the Omicron corona variant there as well. The government says the decision is temporary and will be renewed or reviewed in 3 weeks. The travel industry has described the changes as a hammer blow. They concerned that Omicron could spread quickly and even replace the Delta variant around the world. But we'll be bringing you more on that story because we're looking at the impact, because some scientists now are coming out to say that, or researchers are saying that, well, it looks like it's not that, it's more infectious, however, it's not that deadly as the Delta variant. So what is going to happen? Is it going to take over the Delta variant and then maybe we can have a bit of relief from there? Well, there's a lot more going to be coming your way, so stay tuned and don't you even think of going away. We're bringing you updates from Nigeria. Well, the story continues there. Let me bring you a couple of them. Osibanjo just to Dubai for World LPG Week. And then Italy imposes new COVID rules on unvaccinated people. Those are some of the stories. And a Nigerian and fire outbreak destroys multi-million naira property in Kwara State. Some of the stories making the rounds there as well. Shehu Sani reacts as Unia Buja ignores military highs, hunters, and a lot more going to be coming from there. They are all stories that is making the rounds this morning from Nigeria. And TB Joshua Dasuki Namdi Kano tried to save my marriage to Fanny Kayode. Okay, Honeywell Flows Mills, flour mills of Nigeria. That's another story that is making the rounds. Those of you on the social media platforms and other platforms as well, there are some of the stories making the rounds there as well. Okay, and Esoniolu receives UN Deputy Secretary General Hajia Amina Mohammed at Lagos House. We'll be looking into the discussions that they've had, all coming your way from Nigeria, being updates from Nigeria this morning. But thank God, I think one of the weeks that we've been through where we've not seen lots of abductions, and since things have been quite calmer than it has been of late. But I'm going to bring you more on that from when it comes to Nigeria, believe you me. All right then. Now the first story that I want to bring, so if you are listening to us or you are watching us live in Zamfara State, now telecommunications network have been restored to all Zamfara communities. Say hey! Now authorities have restored telecommunication services in Zamfara communities. It says it will be recalled that Zamfara government last Wednesday said the process of restoring telecommunication services in the state is ongoing as part of measures to tackle banditry in the northwestern state. The government had cut telecommunications networks in 14 local government areas in September. However, on November 27, Governor Bello Matawale ordered the restoration of the network in Gusau, the state capital. Neighboring Sokoto state had also taken the same measure to curb banditry and insecurity. Now, according to the in-house intelligence, the executive order has been finalized and governor has signed it. So, well, no more banditry stories there. It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station. Well, the banditry issue is going on, but telecommunication has been restored there, coming away from Starr Radio UK. Now, Southern and Middle Belt Alliance Zamba has claimed that 102 communities in Plateau State have been annexed after its original inhabitants were chased out from 2001 till date. In a press release on Sunday, the group asked the state governor Simon Lalong to embark on immediate recovery of the communities. The group further requests the governor issues an express order for the marauding militias to evacuate the annexed communities forthwith. But do you think they are going to do that? Zamba, in a statement signed by Ron Palm Jr. on Sunday, December the 5th, fumed at the continuing invasion of Plateau communities by Fulani militia since 2001 and demand that state government should uphold justice for the people of the state who have suffered from Fulani and grabbing and other crimes for many years. The statement by the Zamba spokesman noted that 4 local government areas have suffered most from the invasion of Fulani militia since 2001, namely Bakladi, Baza, Bokos, and Riom local government areas. The statement reads, Zamba is saddened by the development in Plateau State and is therefore throwing its full weight and total support for the petition submitted to the Plateau State Governor on the 26th of November 2021 by the Emancipation Center for Crisis Victims in Nigeria and its collaborating association of Ataka Development Association, Berom Educational and Cultural Organization, Irigwe Development Association, and Ron Kunleri Development Association. The petition is anchored on the Plateau State anti-land grabbing law, a situation where Aborigines and natives of Plateau State are sacked from their ancestral homes and ejected from IDP camps is morally disturbing, a globally condemnable and totally unacceptable, the statement reads. But you know, in our own backyard, and we do think that. So I just say, when I see people mistreating us, maybe as a race and stuff like that, I tell them that we've seen this in our own backyard, but what have we done to it? Well, we hope that the state governor and the federal government sees to address this issue for these communities. It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Now, the Lagos state government has officially, that's the governor, Sanwo-Olu, has received a UN Deputy Secretary General Hajia Amina Mohammed at the Lagos House in Marina. The story says that Deputy Secretary General, okay, just right, okay, trying to see whether the story is going to load. Somebody will say loading. Well, there's a picture of them. The discussions have not been put across yet, but I'll be bringing you more on that front. Now, Shehu Sani reacts to Uni Abuja ignores military, hires hunters, vigilantes for students and staff protection. That's the University of Abuja. Now, former Kaduna Central Senator Shehu Sani has taken a dig at the Nigerian military over the decision by the management of the University of Abuja to employ hunters and vigilantes to provide extra security for the institution. The lawmakers saw it as questionable that the university is located close to a military formation, but still opted to get local hunters and vigilantes to provide extra security for staff and students. Now, Niger reports that the pro-chancellor and chairman of the University of Abuja, Uni Abuja, Governing Council Mohammed Madibo disclosed the decision of the institution to engage hunters and vigilante members to provide 24-hour security patrol of the institution. He said the step has already been taken. Speaking over the weekend at a retreat tagged Navigating a Myriad of Challenges in Managing Universities in Today's World, Madibo disclosed that the University of Abuja's management was leaving no stone unturned in securing the staff, students, and property of the institution following the recent attack by gunmen in which some staff members were abducted from their residential quarters before they were eventually rescued. The retreat was organized by the governor, the governing council for the principal officer, officers, dean, directors, and university-based unions in Abuja. Madibo, while speaking at the retreat, among other things, said, "We have now mounted continuous 24 hours security patrol not only within the campus and residential areas but within perimeters of the university. We also employ additional hunters and vigilantes to be patrolling in areas that are not fenced." In reaction to the development via the microblogging site Twitter, Senator Sani wrote, "University of Abuja is located close to military formation, but they have chosen to draft the vigilante and hunters to protect and defend their institution." This is a strong message. Is it that he thinks that the military cannot do anything for them? So if you are living close to a military base, call it, you can't get the protection that you need. Now, what about other communities that are not living any close to military installations as such? Well, it is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Updates from Nigeria coming away. 11:22 the time. The morning show, the program. Now, a couple of stories more that will bring the program to the update to a close. Now, fire outbreak destroys multi-million naira properties in Kwara. Now, properties worth millions of naira were yesterday gutted by fire following electric surge that happened in one of the shops opposite State Arts and Culture Center Ilorin, Kwara State capital. Now, during the incident, 6 shops at the center were seriously affected as the goods already bought by the owners of the affected shops for Christmas selling were destroyed. It was guarded that the incident, which happened at midnight, had destroyed all goods in the shops before the operatives of the state fire services could get to the scene on a rescue mission. And speaking with a reporter, one of the victims, Mrs. Anifat Adetoro, who sells unisex ready-made clothing, fashion accessories, and claimed to have restocked goods 2 days ago to enable her to sell the December market, met her shop totally destroyed. She said, I just bought new goods a few days ago to enable me to meet up with December demands. I received a call from one of my neighbors around 5:23 a.m. when I woke up to perform early morning prayers, and I was told that fire has burned our shops, and we met operatives of fire services on the ground trying to quench the inferno. As the time we got here, if not for them, almost all the shops in this building should have been destroyed. Okay, well, that's all the stories making the rounds there. I hope everything was insured. That is Africa for you. And even if it was insured, you know what happens? They go on and on and on and on, arbitration and on and on. And by the time you get your money, I think your debtors have come for you. Well, we'll see what happens on that front. But coming your way from Starr Radio UK, the Chief Whip of the Senate, Archie Kalu, says killers of a 12-year-old student, Sylvester Romani Jr. of Darwin College, must be arrested and prosecuted. In the quote, he said, I received with shock the devastating news of the death of a 12-year-old Sylvester Romano Jr. of Darwin College, now Lagos, who was reportedly bullied and tortured by his colleagues in school, stated Mr. Archie. The sad incident must be properly investigated by the government in a bid to bring perpetrators of the act to book and also to forestall recurrence. Now, Mr. Kalu, in a statement issued on Monday in Abuja, described the events leading to his death as wicked, unacceptable, and condemnable. It goes further to say the former governor of the Abia commended the Lagos government for shutting down the school for a full-scale investigation on the incident. Mr. Kalu, while commiserating with the Romani family, prayed to God to grant the deceased eternal rest. He, however, urged the government, school authorities, and stakeholders in the education sector to map out strategies to fight cultism and other vices in school. He added that he was deeply pained that the secondary school students have started embracing cultism and other social vices. It goes on further to say, we must not accept the unruly behaviors in our schools, communities, and society at large. All hands must be on deck to ensure proper counseling of children, wards, and loved ones. Mr. Archie added, in their prime, students must be sensitized on the imperative of good moral conduct by their biological and foster parents and guardians. Now, the ex-Abia governor prayed to God to give the deceased parent the fortitude to bear the loss. And that is all coming away from Nigeria this morning with updates from Nigeria there. I am Archie. We're going to take a break. We come back and we continue with the morning show. But remember, exactly at 12:30, I'll be having the CEO of Gabbydave. Global.com. The CEO of Gabbydave Global.com. Chris should be joining me on that program, and we're having a chat. What is Gabbydave all about? You want to know more about that? Just stay tuned. Don't you go away. You will know more about it. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabbydave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabbydave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse. making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabbydave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. I'll be home for Christmas. You can plan on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents on the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas.
Radio UK.
For the holidays, you can't beat home sweet home. I met a man who lives in Port of Spain, and he was heading for San Fernando and some.
Well, some Christmas tune coming your way, putting you in the mood for a very, 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 very nice Christmas that you're looking forward to. I hope your kids, your families, wherever they all are enjoying, getting themselves ready. How was you shopping over the weekend? Well. A few of us have said that, they were out there, they were just getting on with it. I love it when people get on with it. Yes, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio. I'm Archie, and it's now gone, 11:33. Exactly at 12 o'clock, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussions. But wherever you are, don't touch the dial. Continue to listen to me and share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. As I announced earlier on, exactly at 12:30, I'll be hosting for the first time Chris of GabbydavGlobal.com. She'll be joining me on the show. She'll be telling you more about Gabbydave. What is Gabbydave all about? You want to know more about it? Yes, you don't have to go away. Are you a business entity? Are you are you are you a prospective businessman? You want to trade from Africa to every part of the world, but on a different platform? You want to know more? Make sure you make a date. Yes, you make a date with me and Chris on that show, and she will tell you more about this. Okay, so it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me say good morning also to Mr. Dave West, Maestro. He will be bringing you the reggae time tonight, conscious reggae, exactly from 10 o'clock. So you make a date with him there as well. But now let's move on to some of the stories making the rounds here in the UK and other parts of the world. Details of it as I did bring you earlier on. So stay tuned, don't you go away. Well. Now, when it comes to the UK front, Omicron could be dominant in UK within weeks. Now, yesterday we found out that, there's been an increment in the infection. So, the virus, that particular strain, there's been an increment in there. Because my question has been that, is it that the various testing that they are doing, is targeting this particular virus? Are they doing the test and saying that we want to, identify if it's Omicron virus? That virus that someone is got, or the variant that someone is got, or it's just that a few of them, when the test is done, they said, I've tested positive, then they do some other further details together. So if in the real sense, if they are investigating how many people have got the Omicron variant, then I bet you it will be more than what they are looking at the moment. But what do you think about that? Well, the story says the UK government should do whatever it can to lower the price of COVID pre-departure tests for travellers. Leader Sir Keir Starmer is saying that's one of the stories that have just come through. Now, from 04 hours tomorrow, everyone travelling to the UK will need to take a COVID test before their journey, as well as a test after they arrive. Now, private test providers must be used to free NHS lateral flow kits. So free NHS lateral flow kits are not allowed. There has been some concerns raised about the prices of private tests, with some test estimates suggesting it could add several hundreds of pounds onto the cost of a trip. Now, as Starmer added, I also want to see the government doing whatever it can to bring the price of these tests down, because lots of people are getting really hammered by prices they can't just be justified. But still, the COVID disruption caused says trying to bring you. Now, the UK's travel rules are changing from tomorrow. Every traveller coming into the UK will have to have a negative pre-departure COVID test in order to enter the country. It can either it can be either a lateral flow or PCR test, and has to be taken in the 48 hours before your travel. On top of this, all arrivals from a foreign country, apart from the Republic of Ireland, will also need to take a PCR test before the end of their second day in the UK and have to self-isolate. Now, whether or not you have been vaccinated, at least until their negative results comes back. So it brings into question once again. He said we should take a vaccine and all that. We are doing all that. Now, upon taking all this vaccine, now if you travel and you're coming in and you have that, you have to do a test or you have to isolate until they find out that, well, you have tested negative. And I seem to be agreeing with them, because over the weekend I was having a chat with some people, and one of them was saying that, well, I've had he said they tested positive to COVID again. I was like, but you've been vaccinated? He said, yeah. And I was going to ask what variant or what strain of the virus have you, but he said, well, I don't know. And I said, okay, have you done a PCR test? Maybe when they do the PCR test, they'll be able to tell us exactly what kind of variant that you've got. Because if it's the Omicron, then we can run far or go far away from you. It is not coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So Omicron could be dominant within days in the UK. That's what the story is saying. But what do you think will have to happen there? Okay, and then still on the pandemic, we have Sarah Gilbert, who has said that next pandemic could be more lethal than COVID. So are we expecting another one? Are the scientists going to do something again? As it was said that, well, this one was concocted by the Chinese. Now, future pandemics could be more lethal than the current COVID crisis. One of the creators of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine has warned. Now, Professor Dame Sarah Gilbert, delivering the 44th Richard Dimbleby lecture, said there need to be more funding for pandemic preparedness to prevent the advances made from being lost. She also warned vaccines could be less effective against the Omicron variant. Now, Dame Sarah added that people should be cautious until we know or until more was known about it. Now, she said this will not be the last time a virus threatens our lives and our livelihoods. The truth is the next one could be worse. It could be more contagious or more lethal, or both. Now, we cannot allow a situation where we have gone through all we have gone through and then find that the enormous economic losses we have sustained mean that there is still no funding for pandemic preparedness, she added. The advances we have made and the knowledge we have gained must not be lost. Okay, so speaking about the Omicron variant, she said its spike protein contains mutation known to increase the transmissibility of the variant or the virus. Wow. However, Dame Sarah said reduced protection against infection and mild disease will not necessarily mean reduced protection against severe illness and death. So the word is caution. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, please do your best. Let's continue. We don't, now I've forgotten to be singing my happy birthday when I'm washing my hands. The other time I wash my hands, I finished. I said, do you think that it's gone as long as happy birthday, the song happy birthday, or if I decide to sing it very fast? And I said, well, so far as you know that you have to wash your hands, you come in and then, touching things outside or touching your face and stuff like that, you stop it. Well, why not? Well, it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Do your best to protect yourself. That is the warning that is coming through. Now, some other stories making the rounds. We will tackle 300,000 problem drug users. That's what the Prime Minister is saying. A new drug strategy will see investment in treatment and a crackdown on gangs, the government has said. It goes on further to say, the Prime Minister said the 10-year strategy for England and Wales will also tackle 2,000 county line gangs. The 300 million pounds gangs crackdown will be joined by the largest ever investment in treatment, the government said. Other measures including using dealers seize phones to message clients and discourage drug use. Speaking on a visit to Merseyside Police Headquarters, Mr. Johnson said, overwhelmingly, the problem is caused by 300,000 people who leaves. My apologies. Let me take it again. Overwhelmingly, the problem is caused by 300,000 people whose lives are simply chaotic, who are torn apart by their own addiction. You've got to help them. You've got to do treatment, but you've also got to calm down hard on the county line gangs. Mr. Johnson said he wanted to break the cycle of arresting and imprisoning the same drug users time and time again. He said the strategy, which is due to be published in full later on Monday, will also come down tougher on so-called lifestyle drug users. Okay, well, Starr Radio UK, it is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, a final story from the UK front. Well, we've got the former health secretary who has come out to apologize. So I mean, we chastise him when he fall prey to the law. So if he's apologized, let me also now read that one as well. Now, former Health Secretary Matt Hancock said breaking of social distancing guidance, which led to his resignation, was a failure of leadership. Now, the West Suffolk MP stood down after pictures were published showing him in an embrace with a colleague. Now, speaking this morning at a mass vaccination event at Newmarket Racecourse, he said he was sorry for all the people he let down. He added, people have been forgiven, which I'm grateful for. He said Mr. Hancock quit after the Sun published pictures and then a video of Mr. Hancock and Gina Coladingiello kissing. The newspaper said they had been taken inside the Department of Health on the 6th of May. Mr. Hancock said, what I really feel is that was a failure of leadership. I hope that by being straightforward and apologizing and resigning, people can see that I get it and I know I need to do a good job representing the people. The 43-year-old Conservative MP for West Suffolk said he was not in any rush to return to ministerial office, adding, there is a lot you can do for the people you serve from the back benches. Well, okay, let's see what happens on the front. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Another story that has come through, and I need to put that one across, pertaining to Priti Patel, the Home Secretary. Now, the Union for Senior Civil Servants has lost its High Court challenge to Boris Johnson's decision to back Priti Patel over claims she bullied staff. Last year, the Prime Minister kept his Home Secretary in post despite a report accusing her of breaking the ministerial code. The FDA union challenged Mr. Johnson's decision, arguing he had incorrectly interpreted the definition of bullying. However, the court said it had not been misinterpreted. Now, despite losing its legal bid, the FDA said the judgment represented a major victory. It welcomed the court's ruling that decisions taken on the ministerial code, the rules that govern ministers' behavior, could be challenged in court. Now, General Secretary Dave Penman said it was an important step forward in the battle to ensure that ministers are held to account for their behavior in the workplace. In November 2020, the Prime Minister then advised on standards. Sir Alex Allan ruled that Ms. Patel had unintentionally broken the ministerial code. Sir Alex found that she had not consistently met the high standards required of the ministerial code of treatment her civil servants with consideration and respect, and cited example of shouting and swearing. Okay, well. It's all coming away from Starr Radio, okay? It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 11:48. She's been let off. Yeah, what about that? Well, what to bring you some more stories making the rounds. We're going to be going to Myanmar, where Aung San Suu Kyi has been sentenced to 4 years in jail. Oh, what a world we live in. After this commercial break, stay tuned. Don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome to Gabbydave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabbydave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabbydave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabbydave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Okay, welcome back to the program. It is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bring your time now to 9 minutes to the top of the hour. It is the Monday edition of the morning show. As I said earlier, I did announce earlier on, exactly at 12:30, I will be having Chris joining me, the CEO of GabbydavGlobal.com, joining us on the morning show, and to have an interview, a discussion on what Gabbydave.com really is. What is it all about? We'll be looking into that. So make sure you make a date with us on that from those of you on YouTube, those of you on our app, the Star Radio UK app, and those of you on Facebook. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. All right then. So that will be exactly at 12:30, and then 12:45 we'll be having HRH Linda Pallien all the way from Cyprus, who'll be also joining us to bring you Career 101. So make a date with her as well. Okay. Now let's move on to some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. In the next 7 minutes, I will announce the lines open. Or let me just get on. Let me announce the lines open wherever you are. If you want to join in the discussions, 0208-133-2257 or 580208-133-2257 or 58. And then, if you happen to be in the US or the Caribbean area or in Canada, it is 001-7183-032737. 001-7183-032737. You can also text or WhatsApp at 075-3966-1744. 075-3966-1744. If you want to tweet at us, feel free to do so. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. We are streaming live on our own apps, and you can go there to also share your comments with us. And there's a session where you can just click on and just record a voice note for us, which I'll be able to play as well. But wherever you are, make sure you do so. Don't get yourself left out. Make sure you tap into it and enjoy the show. Okay, now let's move on to some of the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world, as I did say. Now, Aung San Suu Kyi has been sentenced to what? 4 years. Okay, let me bring you more. The ousted Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi has been sentenced to 4 years in prison for the first in a series of verdicts that could jail her for life. She was found guilty on charges of inciting, dissent, and breaking COVID rules under natural disasters law. Now, Ms. Suu Kyi faces 11 charges in total, which have been widely condemned as unjust. She has denied all charges. She has been in detention since a military coup in February, which toppled her elected civilian government. It is not clear when or if Ms. Suu Kyi will be placed in prison. She is being held at an undisclosed location. Now, co-defendant Win Myint, the former president and Ms. Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy (NLD) party ally, was also jailed on Monday for 4 years under the same charges. Now, UN Human Rights Chief Michelle Bachelet condemned the sham trial and said it will only deepen rejection of the coup. Now, UK Foreign Secretary Liz Truss called on Myanmar to release all political prisoners and allow a return to democracy. The arbitrary detention of elected politicians only risks further unrest, she said. And rights group Amnesty called the charges bogus, saying it was the latest example of the military determination to eliminate all opposition and suffocate freedom in Myanmar. Ms. Suu Kyi is next due in court on the 14th of December when she will face charges of possessing illegal walkie-talkies. You know, when you talk about freedom, now wherever you are listening to us from, you know that, well, you are enjoying. If you think that your freedom is being stepped on or being, I can tell you that you are enjoying. Can you see what is happening in Myanmar? Oh my goodness. Well, it's all coming your way. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, still, some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. In the US of A, well, the death of Bob Dole. Do you remember Bob Dole back in the day? Now, US President Joe Biden has led tribute from both sides of America's political divide to veteran Republican Bob Dole, who has died aged 98. Now, President Biden said Dole was a dear friend and an American statesman like few in our history. Dole was a longtime senator for Kansas who ran as Republican Party's presidential nominee in 1996, losing to the Democrat Bill Clinton. Now, he was also a World War II veteran who nearly perished on the battlefield. News of Dole's death was announced by his wife foundation, which said he had served the United States of America faithfully for 79 years. Now, those opponents in the 1996 election, Bill Clinton said those examples should inspire people today and for the generation to come. Former Republican President George W. Bush said Doe represented the finest of American values, while his Democratic successor Barack Obama called him a war hero, a political leader, and a statesman. In the Congress, Democrat House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi ordered that the flags at the U.S. Capitol be flown at half-mast in tribute. The Senate's Republican leader Mitch McConnell said Doe lived the kind of full, rich, and deeply honorable American life that would be impossible for any tribute to fully capture. Of course, back in the day, I remember during their campaign times, Bob Doe versus Bill Clinton. Well, may his soul rest in perfect peace. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Now, another sad story. After just a few days ago, when a family that bought a gun for their son, and the son using that gun to go kill people in their school, and not a congressman. A congressman has been condemned for a photo where they are all armed. The photo of Thomas Massey's family posing with firearms was posted day after a deadly school shooting. And all his sons and daughters all carrying guns. The wife carrying, and he also carrying one, in a smile. This is like proper gun. It's not like a pistol. No. Automatic guns. Now, U.S. Congressman has faced a barrage of criticism after he posted a Christmas photograph of his family posing with military-style rifles just days after a deadly school shooting. Now, Kentucky's Republican Representative Thomas Massey tweeted the photo with the caption, "Merry Christmas, please Santa, bring me ammo." Now, the post has been condemned by a host of families affected by gun violence, plus figures on both sides of the political divide. He has been contacted for comment. In the wake of the controversy, Mr. Massey has retweeted messages of support and also that's criticizing him, directly engaging with several Twitter users who said he was tone deaf and insensitive. In a response to one person who wrote the bar was on the floor but somehow was managed to tunnel underneath it, the 50-year-old quipped that the bar is under the couch, referring to a type of military assault rifle. The photo was posted days after a school shooting in Michigan, which left 4 teenagers dead and 7 people injured after a 15-year-old student allegedly went on a rampage using his father's gun. That's what they're saying. It's not his father's gun. They say they bought the gun for him. All right then. Now I'm happy that the parents have been arrested because they saw that, well, they were going to be held responsible for that. Though their son is also being held as well. They decided to flee and they ended up finding themselves in an area where the police had to go in and get them arrested. The person who also kept them there has also been arrested. Is going to be charged there. Yes. Okay, there as well. So it's all coming away from Star Radio, okay? 2 minutes past 12 the time, the morning show, the program. Well, CNN has fired Chris Cuomo for helping governor's brother. The Starr TV host is sacked over efforts to help his brother defend himself against sexual harassment claims. Well, so why should he be sacked? I will not have the time to go through that, but well, that's more stories making the round. Biden and Putin to talk amid rising Ukraine tension. Tomorrow, the U.S. and Russian leaders will speak and amid mounting concerns of Russia invading Ukraine. At the moment, they've masked the borders of Ukraine. What is going to happen there, we're not very sure of it, but it's all coming away from the U.S. Now, Colombian rebel leader Peza has been killed in ambush. The story says a dissident, former leader of Colombia FARC, rebels have been killed in an ambush in Venezuela, local media reports on Sunday. Now, Hernandario Velasquez, nicknamed El Peza, was reported shot dead in Venezuela's Apure state. His death has not been officially confirmed, and the Colombian army said it had no knowledge of the killings. Now, local media have speculated that mercenaries may have killed Velasquez, seeking reward for his capture. Now, Colombia authorities told El Tiempo that they will not confirm his death until officials had seen his body. Spokesperson for Colombia President Ivan Duque told Reuters news agency that his office was seeking more information. The FARC rebels were a Marxist group that waged a bitter war against the Colombian government for over 50 years before eventually calling a ceasefire in 2016. Well, has he actually been killed? Well, and if he has, what's the next move? Is that going to infuriate or they stir up fire in the bosom of Venezuela once again? Well, it is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, Bolsonaro investigated for vaccine and AIDS claim. Brazil's president will face a Supreme Court inquiry for his falsehood about COVID-19 and AIDS. Now, do you think that the people died? Here in the UK, people have died. Someone will say being insensitive. Now he thinks that, well, it wasn't anything that would kill us because I had it and I had treatment and I'm okay. So anybody could have it and could be okay. Well, there's going to be survival of the fittest and everything that has gone on. But do you think that he should stand trial? And if he stands trial, will he be held culpable for that? Well, we'll see what happens. Will he be condemned? What is going to happen? What if he decides not to appear before the Supreme Court? What happens there? We'll be studying the laws of the Venezuelans and we'll be telling you more on of Brazil, and we'll be telling you more on that front. Wherever you are, stay tuned. Don't you go away. It is the Monday edition of the morning show. Well, quick one from the European front before we go to the African continent once again. Now, far-right French candidate grabbed at rally. A man grabbed Eric Zemmour. Far-right French presidential candidate Eric Zemmour has been attacked at his first campaign rally as the 63-year-old moved through the crowd to the stage. A man briefly grabbed him by the neck before security officers intervened. Now, local media reports his wrist was injured and that his doctors have ordered 9 days of rest. The former journalist and pundit is known for his controversial view on migrants and World War II. Now, in the past, the child of Jewish Algerian immigrants have claimed the French state protected Jews during the conflict, when in reality, the collaborationist Vichy regime shipped thousands of French Jews to Nazi death camps. After weeks of speculation, Mr. Zemmour announced his candidacy in the 2022 French presidential election on Tuesday. He's challenging for far-right figurehead Marine Le Pen for leadership of France's nationalist hard right. The incident in which Mr. Zemmour was attacked was one of several violent clashes during the event held at a convention center northeast of the capital, Paris, on Sunday night. Now, some 10,000 people reportedly turned up for the rally. Thousands of demonstrators against the far-right politicians reportedly marched through the city, with police arresting dozens outside the event. So these are some of the stories making the round on the European continent as well. And Pope has condemned the treatment of migrants in Europe. Visiting a camp in Greece, Pope Francis calls the neglect of migrants the shipwreck of civilization. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK with updates from across the globe. You can share your take with us. It's 7 minutes past the top of the hour. Okay, now moving on straight to some other stories in Asia. The ITF says it has not followed the WTA in suspending tournaments in China because it does not want to punish 1 billion people for the mistake of one person. What do you think? Well, it's all pertaining to this tennis star who allegedly is claiming that for one of the top hierarchy, a former deputy leader in the Chinese government has raped her or did rape her. As to whether that is true or not, well, she was not seen in public for some time, but when she resurfaced, she made a statement that, oh, I'm okay, I just want to just stay out of the limelight, blah 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 blah. But do you believe her? We have the WTA that has suspended tournaments in China, but the ITF, that's the International Tennis Federation, is saying that they are not going to be following the WTA. Why? Because they don't want to punish the whole of the Chinese, or majority of the Chinese, that's about 1 billion people, from enjoying the tennis there. Okay, it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Now, killing of a man accused of blasphemy sparks protests. Now, more than 100 have been arrested over the lynching of Sri Lankan man accused of insulting Islam. That's one of the stories making the run. A brutal mob killing of a Sri Lankan man accused of blasphemy in Pakistan has sparked protests in both countries, with Pakistan leader condemning the vigilant violence. Priyanta Diwadanaj, 48, a factory manager in the city of Sakot, was beaten to death on Friday and his body set alight. Now, more than 100 people have been arrested so far, said Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan. He has described the incident as a day of shame for his country. We hope that the authorities see to bring the perpetrators of this evil deed to book or to justice. All right then, still coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, before we get on the African continent, Solomon Islands Prime Minister Manasseh Zogavari survived a non-confidence vote on Monday as lawmakers overwhelmingly voted to keep him in power. It comes just more than a week after riots rocked the Pacific island nation for 3 consecutive days. Now, riots were fueled by discontent over Mr. Zogavari's decision to switch relations from Taiwan to China in 2019. The opposition leader Matthew Wale filed the motion in recognition of the anger of long-standing political issues. In a parliament session on Monday, Mr. Wale accused Mr. Zogavari of taking money from China in an attempt to bolster his political standing and said he was in the service for a foreign power. But Mr. Zogavari said he switched diplomatic ties between China and a switch of diplomatic ties between because China was an economic powerhouse, according to a Reuters report. In the 2 hours parliamentary address, Mr. Zogavari said the call for him to resign was made against the backdrop of an illegal attempted coup. At one point, he reportedly rose to his feet and slammed his chair while screaming at Mr. Wale. The no confidence motion eventually failed, with 15 MPs voting in support, that is 32 against and 2 abstaining. Well, it is all Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, coming your way from the Solomon Islands. Okay, now let's move on to the African continent as well. It is all Starr Radio UK. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In the next 80 minutes, we will be going straight to no other place but northern part of England, where we have Chris Fadele who will be joining us on the show to tell you more about Gabbydave. GabbydavGlobal.com. What is all that about? Gabbydave, very lovely name. What is it all about? You want to know more? Make sure you make a date with her when she comes away on the show in the next 17 minutes. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Gabbydave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabbydave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabbydave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far.
Hear me now? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Okay. Yeah, so welcome back to the program once again. It's 12:14. As I announced earlier on, we'll be having the CEO of GabbydavGlobal.com joining us exactly at 12:30. She's going to be telling us more about Gabbydave. It's a platform where you can go trade and do what kind of products or services can you trade there. She's going to be telling you more about that. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. But before we get a break and then prepare ourselves for Gabbydave, let's continue. Yes, so on the African continent this morning, one of some making around the Rwanda ex-prison director has been jailed for stealing from inmates. Now, when it comes to Rwanda, I don't know how they are doing it, but it looks like Paul Kagame is doing marvelously well. I don't know, people might think that maybe he's wielding a strong hand, and some would say, well, but if you look at if that is what it's going to take to get our leaders or our leadership in the country to do the right things, then why not? You get it? Okay, so let me try to see whether I can capture that story in a whole or as a whole and then bring your way from there. Just bear with me, because there are a couple of stories that I will add as well. A Rwandan court has sentenced to 5 years in prison a former director of Kigali's main prison for stealing money from British inmates. The innocent, that is the name I was going. Innocent Kayumba, who was sentenced on Friday evening alongside his former deputy Eric Intakirotimana, has appealed against the judgment. A court document shows the court acquitted an IT specialist inmate who used his skills to hack the victim's Visa card after telling the court that he was forced by the prison director to do so. Whoa. He said he was asked to decode the card kept by the prison authorities after they realized that the bank account linked to it had a large sum of money. A British Egyptian inmate had told the court that more than £7,000 was taken away from his account using his card last year without his knowledge. The court ruled that Mr. Kayumba and his deputy conspired to the theft, while the IT specialist was coerced to work for them, hence found not guilty. Mr. Kayumba, a senior military officer was transferred to the prison service in 2014, heading a prison in western Rwanda before moving to the capital main prison. He was arrested early this year. But that's a very, very sad one. For what? For 7,000 grand? Jesus. Okay. Well, MTN, the story of MTN, and then we can just touch on Gambia. Now, Africa's largest mobile phone company, MTN, has announced the mandatory COVID-19 vaccines for its staff from January, but it will give exemptions on certain clearly defined grounds. For those staff who are not exempt from vaccination, either through risk assessment or agreed exclusion, but still refuse vaccination, MTN will not be obliged to continue the employment contract. Now, it is the biggest company yet to state it will terminate employment contract for non-compliance by workers, according to a Bloomberg news agency. The science is clear. Vaccination against COVID-19 reduces rates of serious infection, hospitalization, and death. Now, MTN Group Chief Executive Officer Ralph Mopita said, as an employer, we have a responsibility to ensure that our workplaces are guided by the highest standards of health and safety, and that has informed our decision to make COVID-19 vaccination mandatory for our staff, he added. Latest data showed that across Africa, only 7% of the people have been fully vaccinated, compared with the global population vaccination rate of 55%. So, are they going to make the vaccines available to them before the set date? Or are they just going to be saying that you cannot have a job, but though you've not made provision for them to have the opportunity to take the job? Well, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, a quick one to Gambia. The Gambia's president, Adama Barrow, has easily won re-election, authorities have said, in the first vote for decades held without long-term leader Yahya Jammeh. Now, President Barrow received around 53% of the Saturday's vote, with nearest rival Osano Dabo on 28%. Mr. Dabo and other candidates earlier said they could not accept the result of the poll. The vote is being seen as a test for democracy in the country. In the last election, Mr. Barrow defeated Yahya Jammeh, who was forced into exile after refusing to accept the results. Now, Mr. Jammeh's 22-year rule was marked by allegations of abuse, with witnesses recently telling a truth commission about state-backed execution squads and AIDS patients being forced to take bogus cures. Now, despite his exile in Equatorial Guinea, Mr. Jammeh remains an influential figure and addressing supporters remotely during campaigning and urging them to vote for Mr. Barrow, even though a faction of his party had agreed a controversial deal to work with the current president. Well, so what do you think? If they are disagreeing to that, should they also now go to the the ECOWAS court to go and seek redress from there? What do you think? It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, finally, let's touch a couple of stories from Ghana, and then we'll prepare ourselves for the time with Gabbydave. Gabbydave.global.com. You want to know more about what Gabbydave is and it's all about? Make sure you make a date with me on Starr Radio UK with Chris when she joins me. Okay, so now let's move on to some of the stories making the rounds in Ghana today. I'm not MPP Mo. It's wicked propaganda, Dufour says. Who is Dufour? Now, the former finance minister, Dr. Kwabena Dufour, has rejected accusation by some members of the NDC that he is working to distract former President John Mahama from winning the 2024 elections. According to him, his long years of support and service to the NDC and the country is on record and undisputed. He goes on further to say, those claims are just wicked, and I pray that those people will put their thinking caps on. It is very unfair. Who will serve a country for 4 years and will not accept anything? No salary, no allowances, no ex gratia. Why would I be a mole when money is not my problem? The former governor of the central bank said. Now, Mr. Dufour also disclosed the late President J.J. Rawlings in 2018 urged him to run for the flag bearership of the party, but he declined because the timing was not right. So does it mean that the timing now is right? Now, he goes on to say, I felt the time was not right when Rawlings called on me to contest. He said he was going to lead my campaign himself, but I didn't. The only reason I'm doing so now is because I think the party can still do better and it must involve everyone. He also dismissed suggestions that age should be a consideration when choosing leaders. Now, why should age matter? The focus should be on what the person brings to the fore and what that they are capable of delivering when given the job. And my track record proves that what I can do in almost every sphere of the economy. My record and the work we are capable of doing should be the driver of the conversation, not age. So the question is the former I was going to say the former president, the former Minister for Finance and Economic Planning, and the governor of the central bank, is he a mole? Is it just something to distract the former president John Mahama, who is already laced up his shoes or his boots to go for another challenge there? And do you think that having Dufour in, or if Dufour should win the mandate, do you think that it's going to make any greater impact than what Mahama did? Well, somebody said that, well, he's been in the helm of the Bank of Ghana, and I was going to say Bank of England, Bank of Ghana, and has been in the helm of the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning. So maybe he's got all the things up there. But somebody said, well, if that is true, how about the fact that a bank that he owned, and which bank am I talking about here? I'm talking about the bank that his bank, is it Unibank? That was closed. How come that was closed? Because if you got expertise, why didn't you put everything there so that nobody can actually touch you? Now, what do you think about all that? It's all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We'll be joining, or be going all the way to North London in a moment, where we're going to be having a chat with Chris. She will be okay. Yeah, she's almost already. Yes, so we'll be putting her on pretty soon. Let me touch on one story, then we'll take some nice music break, and then we'll come and have this chat with Chris, CEO of GabbydavGlobal.com. So make a date with her. We'll be having her in the next few minutes. Okay, one final story from Ghana before we go to North England, where we have Chris. Maybe Chris, are you in the north, or you are? Okay, yes, in the north, whether northeast or northwest. She will tell you more about that. Don't you worry at all. She's all ready to tell you more about that. Well, the final story in Ghana: commercial vehicle drivers have called off a strike. Now, coalition of commercial transport owners to meet the president today. The arrest strike leaves commuters stranded. The coalition of commercial transport owners has called off their sit-down strike. This comes after President Akufo-Addo agreed to meet the leadership of the coalition in the afternoon at the presidency to have a stakeholders meeting to address their concerns. This was disclosed on one of our web pages. Now, businesses by the head of communications of Ghana Private Road Transport Union, Abbas Imoro, in an exclusive interview on Monday, December the 6th, said they noted these commercial vehicle drivers have been ordered to go back to work. Well, we hope that the meeting that they have with the president will bring about or forestall the peace that they need to do this job. But now it's now 27 minutes to the past the top of the hour. We're going to take a break. We come back, and I promise you, I'm going to bring you Chris, CEO of Gabbydave Global.com. All right, then. I'm Archie. Don't you go away. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Welcome to Gabbydave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabbydave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabbydave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabbydave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Welcome back to the program. It is now gone exactly 29 minutes past the top of the hour, and it is what I'm going to be welcoming the one and only Chris, the CEO of Gabbydave Global.com. I don't know whether she can hear me or is her image frozen, but let me say, Gabby, good afternoon to you. Chris, good afternoon to you. Hello, Chris.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well.
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing very well, thank you. Yes. Yeah, listeners, that is Chris Fadele. Okay, I hope I pronounced your name well, your surname. If I've not pronounced it well, feel free to correct me.
Right. It's Fadele. You were correct.
Okay, good. Listeners, so I got it right. I got it all right. Okay, so listeners, that is Chris Fadele, who is the CEO of Gabbydave who is on the program today. We're going to be having a chat about Gabbydave What is it all about? Some people are saying, well, is it another platform like Amazon? Is it another platform like eBay? What is it all about? And what can we trade there? We're going to be looking into all that in a moment, but let me quickly welcome you once again to the program, and to our listeners, to our listeners, just make sure that you share this broadcast with your friends and loved ones, whilst we have this chat, because if you are an entrepreneur, you are a business person, you want to trade, you want to actually spread out, then this is the platform that you have to be on. Today you'll be educated, you'll be given the opportunity more to do so. So now let me go back to Chris, and then let's so that I allow you to introduce yourself to our wonderful listeners this afternoon. So Chris, a bit about you. Let people know who you are. Who is Chris Fadele? Yes, who is she, and what is it all about? So over to you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Fadele, and I am a businesswoman. I am a serial entrepreneur, as I usually say. Right. So I own multiple businesses here in the UK, and I've been in business for over so I run from saloon business to grocery shop. Currently, as I'm talking to you from one of my grocery shops in Leeds. So we have an e-commerce website where we sell all African, all Caribbean food, all your products, all your artifacts, your artwork. We help you list it on our platform, on our website, and we expose your business to the global market. So this is all taking you away from your immediate market, your immediate terrain, and taking you to the global and shining light on your business through the global awareness. So e-commerce is the future. Listing your product online is the future. This is the best time to tap into it with COVID, with all the opportunities that is going on currently in our daily lives, in sales, physical stores. A lot of them are shutting down currently, and they're all going online. The best time for you to actually come, expose your business to the global market, will shine light on you, help you to earn in foreign currency.
Okay, listeners, that is a bit of introduction by Chris there, telling about her multifaceted entrepreneurship, what business that she does, or personality of her. But let's look at Gabbydave once again. Now, so is it just people listening to us who want to know, is it like another platform like eBay, another platform like Amazon, or another platform? How would you compare that to it? What is it like?
So we are basically for African businesses. So compared to eBay or Amazon, Amazon is exposed to everyone and anyone, and currently Amazon is not taking businesses from Africa. They're not taking African products that is being listed from Africa, in Africa. But this platform is for us Black people to come together, have our own platform, have our own domain where we can express ourselves freely, where we can list our products without any hindrance. So we register with the necessary bodies in the UK for importing and exporting. So the nitty-gritty part of things in terms of the logistics, bringing your goods from Africa to the UK and selling it to people in the diaspora. I'm talking about people in America, people in Europe, people in Ireland, exposing your goods across the globe, really. eBay does not do that, won't take on African products like that. Amazon will not take it on, and there's been a lot of commotions with Amazon websites. When Black people list their product, they reject their product, and that was what motivated me to create a platform for our people to expose them to a bigger audience, taking out the limitation that they have from their immediate market. Because at the end of the day, imagine market women, market men selling their goods, their great products, people that make shoes, handbag, painters. There's so many talented people in Africa, but they are not exposed. Their products can go further than their immediate market. Even sometimes it can't go further than their villages or the town or city where they live, if you see what I mean. So
yeah, interesting. So if you are listening to us this afternoon, this is a platform for you. This is a platform for you where you are able now to trade. If you are listening to us in Africa, I know I've got lots of our listeners in Nigeria at the moment, and those of you in Ghana as well, those of you in South Africa as well. Well, when you want to trade, when you go on eBay, you want to even buy stuff and you want to even send it straight from eBay. Maybe you are here and you want to send it straight to Africa. Nah. They have to bring it to you here, and then you can ship it from here to Africa. So this is a platform where you can trade on. Okay, no restrictions there. But interestingly, someone would say that, well, if you look at eBay, you look at Amazon, why they put some restrictions on people trading, especially from Africa and to Africa, on that is because they're looking at the security aspect, where people think that, oh, if I trade on that, I'm secured. If I trade on eBay, I'm secured. If I'm trading. Now, what security assurance can you give to our listeners who want to trade on GabbydavGlobal.com?
Okay, so in terms of security, we are highly secured platform. So we have put all the necessary secure system in place to make sure that the payment goes through to the sellers easily, and the payment from the customer. So we are your middleman, really. Our sellers are not exposed to the data of the customer, so there is no in between. There's no direct link with the customers and the sellers. So, and that's to protect customer data from being exposed to everyone, really. So because we are registered here in the UK, we have to register with the ICO committee, which protects data. And for that to go through, they have to check our integrity. They have to check our company to make sure that we are our integrity is standard, right? So all of these things has been put in place to protect both the sellers, the customers, and ourselves as an individual as well. So we have partnered with Paystack and Floater Waves, and we've got Stripe as well as PayPal. So both the sellers and the customers, they have multiple ways of payments, and these methods are a well secured, highly secured facility that's been put in place to make easy access for customers to get to make their payments, and also the sellers to receive their sales, their sale incomes.
Wow, I think it's quite an encouraging one. If you are listening to us this today or this afternoon, this is not going to be the first time we're going to be having Chris Fadele with me. We're going to be having her on various programs where she's going to be talking to you more about what Gabbydave.com global.com is all about, so that we can encourage more people to go on that platform. You know, there's one thing that I always say, that I like to patronize my own. I like to see my own also prospering, getting up there, okay? And I will want you to have that same mindset, because you go those who trade on what do you call it, Alibaba, you go to trade on Alibaba, and you help some people in China, I mean, profiting, making all that money. But this is a way that we can also trade on GabbyDaveGlobal.com, and we can also see that this is our own, and we are, I mean, patronizing it. Now let's come to the how the goods are moved across. Now we know that when it comes to movement of goods from Africa to this place, at times there are some delays and stuff like that. Now what is the assurance there? So assuming somebody is in Ghana, in Koko in Ghana, or in Abeokuta in Nigeria, or in Cape Town in South Africa, and trying to maybe sell some beads. They want to sell some beads from there that they've created. Now how fast does it get to the customer if the person is around this part of the world?
Okay, so we have 3 different logistic companies that we are partnered with. We have DHL as one of our partners. We have GIG Logistics as one of our partners, and we also have a cargo company as well. So it now depends on which of the logistic companies the sellers want to go with. So when you register as a seller on Gabbydave Global, we send you all the necessary documents, your onboarding documents, which has all of this information, which also has these options for you to choose which of the logistic companies you like to go with. And you have the option of choosing more than one, just in case if you have sometimes light goods that you want to send at a go, or you want to send in bulk. So we normally encourage all our sellers to send their products in bulk, because then it is cost effective for them. When they send individually, which is entirely up to the vendors, up to the sellers to send individually. If they want to test run the system, that is absolutely fine. But that will be costing them a lot more in the end. So currently we have put a package in place, 20 free listing. You list your 20 goods on our platform, and those 20 goods you can decide to sell individually. So for example, if you have 20 different products in your shop or in your office, and you want to sell those 20 goods individually, so you can decide to send individual goods as one and list those goods on our website as one, or you just want to sell you have just one product and you want to utilize that 20, then it's best for you to list the 20 at once and send that 20 goods to us. And we make the goods live, right, the products live, as soon as you list it on our website. So it's pretty straightforward. You put your description, you put how many quantity, your stock, and you list your images as well. I mean, the images on the onboarding document, you do have all the sizing or the quality that we need, because we don't want the website to be shabby at the end of the day. We want it to be aesthetically pleasing. So these customers, when they see it, they want the product.
Wow.
Whether they are white, whether they are black, so it's attractive to everyone.
Yeah, that is packaging. That's another story that we will talk about that next Thursday. Listeners, if you are listening to us, next Thursday exactly at 12:45, we'll be having Chris Fadele once again with us. But before we end our discussions, just a teaser. I mean, those of you listening, it's just a teaser of what is going to be coming your way when it comes to GabbydavGlobal.com. Now, if somebody wants to register, how easy or what are the steps? Just a quick one from there, and then we can round up our conversation.
Okay. So for registration process, you go on our website, which is www.gabbydavglobal.com. So Gabbydave, GABBYDAVE.com. You click on the Become a Seller link, which is easily accessible on the website. From the home page, you can see the Become a Seller. You click on the Become a Seller, and then from that point you choose what package you want to go for. So now before you choose the package, you can read more information about what we do, who we are, right? We have the About Us page and so many other information that is readily available, how secure our system is, our policies, and all the regulations, that we put, the terms and conditions that we've put in place for you. Now, you choose your membership standard that you want. So we've got the free standard, which is up to 20 listing. We have the premium standard, which you can list up to 80 products, and we also have the elite, which is unlimited. So now we are encouraging people to test run the free 20 listing. See how it goes for you. If it works for you, if you love it, go for it. And we just want to shine light on African businesses. We want to create wealth, generational wealth for Africans, because at the end of the day, we all have to come together and make Africa great.
Wow, make Africa great, and that is where we'll end our conversation this afternoon. I promise you, GabbydavGlobal.com. Yes, the CEO, Chris Fadele, will be coming your way next Thursday exactly at 12:45 for another time. I mean, we want to take you from your homes, wherever you are, straight into the shop. Okay, you'll be sitting in the comfort of your home, but we'll take you there. So Chris, before you go, a quick word before you go, a quick one from you to everyone who is listening to us.
Right, so my leaving you words will be the sky is not our limit. The sky is it's not even our, it's just our starting point, really. Our skin color cannot determine how great we can be, because at the end of the day, we can achieve whatever it is that we set our hearts to. We can attain any goals that we have. And I mean, this is me starting this to help other people's business, to shine light for our generation, for the generation to come, to create the Alibaba, the AliExpress, the Amazon for Africa. this should have been a situation whereby this should have been in existence for a long time. But obviously a lot of people are afraid. We are all afraid, and I can understand that a lot of the sellers would be afraid as well to come on board, just because we are black. White people, we jump on the bandwagon, but as soon as is your fellow black man, we are all afraid. So it's now a situation whereby we have to take the leap of faith and dive in deep. And you have 20 listing at the end of the day. 20 is free. You don't need to pay for that listing. I mean, all you just have to pay for is even the sellers, is the customers rather, that pays the shipping. So this is a good platform. This is a great platform for you to start exposing your businesses to the global market, to the global lights, and let us shine light on you. Let us shine light on how creative you are, what fantastic product you have, and people don't even know about it. It's just limited to the immediate market, really. So yes.
Okay, Chris, let me say thank you very, very much, but we'll catch up later after the show.
Okay.
All right then. Have a lovely day.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Bye bye for now. Well, listeners, that was Chris Fadele of the GabbydavGlobal.com. Yes, GabbydavGlobal.com coming your way this afternoon for just an introduction part of GabbydavGlobal.com. You want to know more about it? Please make sure that you go to this program discussion that we've had. Is going to be on our podcast in the next few minutes. Yeah, so go there and go listen to it there. Now, if you're a business entity, you want to get in touch, we're putting all those details across, but stay tuned, don't go away. We're going to take a quick break. Once we come back, I'll be bringing you HRH Linda Pallien, who has also joined us this afternoon. Yes, and that is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Gabbydave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabbydave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabbydave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabbydave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
To exactly 9 minutes to the top of the hour. I know it's a packed afternoon with the ladies today. Now we're going all the way to Cyprus, where we have the one and only HRH Linda Pallien, who has also joined us. And you know what exactly she's going to be doing? Yes, that is when it comes to your career. Well. It's been the discussion that we had earlier on, quite interesting. The question is, now, do you think you belong there? Do you think it's something that you can do? What do you think? But I know Linda has got the answers for you. So let me go straight to her and say, Linda, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. And you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a very good conversation with Gabbydave.
Yeah, quite interesting one. We hope that our people will patronize our own service. That's one of the problems that we've had. We don't patronize our own. But wherever you are, I hope that you are listening to us, because If you don't listen to Linda, I don't know who else you're going to be listening to when it comes to your job front. I tell you, she has been my cheerleader, and she can be your cheerleader if you let her. So now, how was your weekend, lady?
Oh, it was fantastic. It was the book launch, so it was tiring, but it was a great event. But it happened, and I'm happy.
Oh, okay. That's great. That's great. Nice to know. Nice to know. Well, thank God that it all went very, very well. Okay, so what are we looking at this afternoon?
So today we're looking at how to... I don't actually have a title for this, really.
Okay, that's all right.
More about myth busting, the stereotypes about careers.
Okay.
Normalizing stuff with careers.
Okay, normalizing careers and or myth busting. Now, which profession have you heard that maybe there's some myth around it, and you think that maybe you need to go to the Pluto and do some styles before you can join? Which one do you know about?
Exactly that.
Okay then. So listeners, HRH Linda Pallien for you. Let's go to her for her to address this issue. Over to you, Linda.
Wonderful. Thank you for this. Today I wanted to really discuss normalizing some of the beliefs that we've held consciously or subconsciously about careers for so long that is actually stopping us becoming who we want to be and achieving our professional and personal goals that we've set for ourselves. So after years and years of working, well, clearly over a decade now, working with people in various careers at different stages and listening to the common denominator of what stops them going to the next level, I put together a list of 6 key points that you need to address within yourself at whatever stage of your career to be able to break through those beliefs and move forward to the next level of your career. So that's what we're going to be addressing. What can you do as an individual where you are right now to move to the next level of your career progression, whatever that is for you.
Okay. Over to you. Go on.
Fantastic. So the first point on here is normalizing reinventing yourself and your career at any age and at any stage. We have to accept that it happens. I say just like in marriages where they say you have a 7-year itch. More and more the same with careers. You do something for a couple of years, you achieve mastery because you've been doing it for long, you know the ins and outs of it, and it's time to move on. As human beings, we naturally want to progress, because if you're not growing, you're dying. So it's normal that you might want to change your career. It's normal that you might want to explore a different field totally, or move to the next level. And we need to normalize that, rather than fearing that we're being a rolling stone which gathers no moss. Or the stigma that employers might say, why am I changing careers so much? We have to normalize that this happens, And on the show we've spoken at length about how to answer these questions if you've changed careers a lot in Italy, but let's normalize that. And to normalize that, you have to be able to know yourself, know your brand, before you can create a profile that is congruent that someone else will understand. So you want to know yourself, who you are, what you represent, and then, only then, can you communicate that to the world. And as we've said before, if you have different aspects, then aspects of your expertise, whether it's your career, maybe you have your fingers in different pies, then your values and beliefs are the core central part. That is the unifying thread between everything else that you know, or all of the skills that you've got. So I believe in this, and I apply it in this sector. So I stand for this. I stand for peace, and therefore I'm a volunteer for refugees, or I do this in my church choir, or I work as a lawyer and mediate between disputing parties or a judge, whatever it is. But I understand that core value then translates into what you do, because your career is the vehicle for you to fulfill your ultimate life purpose. So that's the first aspect, to normalize reinventing yourself. And of course, when you've done that, then you create a profile that showcases that. This is the third aspect we'll talk about, how you communicate that with the world. So whether it's your CV or your LinkedIn profile, your Facebook profile, Twitter handle, whatever it is, whatever account you choose to use to showcase what you do, making sure that that's congruent with the values and beliefs, what you do, and what you want to communicate to the world about your overall cause, and of course the career that you're using to get to that stage. I hope that's clear.
It's clear. I can hear you. So go on. Yeah. Okay.
So the second point on here is normalizing hybrid careers. Normalizing hybrid careers. And what I mean is being creative with what you do. Sometimes we can get so bogged down with a specific job description, a specific specialism, that we forget to merge different aspects and create a new job, a job that's completely made up of your talents, that then you can then be unique and the only one that uses it. So for example, if you're involved in playing video games, for example, and you like the visual aspects of it, can you use video in your work where maybe you're training people, and rather than sitting and giving a seminar like everyone else and standing and talking, can you gamify that training process? So that it's unique, it's engaging, and it exposes people to a different world that you have an expertise in, and it becomes unique to you. And so combining and creating these hybrid careers, it's really important, combining these multiple interests so that we're innovating all the time rather than trying to stay in the same way things have traditionally been done. Reinventing.
Yeah, but let me chip in, ask you this question. At times it's something that you feel you are convicted with. Okay, this is what I love to do. I can do it very, very well. But you need to be able to communicate with the outside world, to your bosses or this, and for them to agree or come to a bit of acceptance before you can actually introduce. People do seminars, they stand there, they lecture, they do blah 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 blah, but you want to sit in the comfort of your home, just put some these games and then what you are doing. So you need to be able to convince them, but that is what people fall short of doing, and then we don't. So what should people do about that? How can you convince your people?
I think that's a great question, and that is key. A lot of people fall short of it because they're not confident themselves, or they're not confident in how it will be accepted. Of course, there's a fear of what if people don't understand, that people have never played the game before or whatever. But this is why we need to learn to communicate. In terms of, if you spoke to your boss and said, look, I understand that you're going to pay this external trainer maybe $3,000, $5,000 to come in and teach. If I know that this will work, if I make half the price, which will save me money, again, because you're communicating to their listening. And will make the training process more engaging, and people will pay attention because it's something new, and you're willing to offer a trial service just so that people you reduce the barrier to acceptance. Really helps for people to adapt it. So of course change is difficult and uncomfortable for a lot of people, but if you're so convinced and so excited about it, sometimes you go on about something so much, somebody goes, oh my God, they keep going on about it, let me try. You want to get to that stage where your passion for it comes across. The people don't have a choice but to give you a chance. So you can start with your own and have your own pilot group, and pilot it with a few people and say, okay, let me try it out with a small team, so that when the whole office is done, and the results will speak for themselves, and then we can pilot it out. So don't be discouraged because it's a new thing. see them as a challenge of how to break through and speak to what they want to hear. What will be success for them? And if you're able to show that it matches their goals, most of the time people want to hear it, and they'll be inclined to give you. That's the question.
Yeah. Just a follow up to that question again. A quick one. Now, what should employers do in this aspect? Because this is maybe a staff or one of your employees who is saying that, this is, and then employers, we are sad that we think, do I risk this and maybe it makes the whole thing fall apart, or maybe take a bold a step and then maybe in some way somehow? So how should employers also now position themselves when it comes to things like that?
I think employers really need to, as any good manager would do, weigh the risk, have a risk assessment of what's the impact, what's the worst thing that could happen if you change the system on a trial basis. And if there isn't a huge impact, give it a go. A lot of people, actually your employees, love to see that they're being invested in. Employees feel like we're reinventing all the time, like everybody wants to work in a dynamic, fast changing, paced environment, there's something new that keeps them keen.
Yeah.
Actually, I think employers would do well to embrace new ideas and new changes. Of course, they feel listened to. Other employees feel like, okay, we're innovating, and it helps to keep up with the commercial awareness.
Okay.
So I think employers need to really embrace that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Please go on.
Okay. The third aspect of myth busting and these beliefs in the careers is normalizing failing and trial and error, experimenting with different ideas as well. So a lot of us, just like the question before, we don't want to try something new because if it ain't broke, then fix it. We're following along just well. And what if we fail? And I always say that is always a given. So embracing that rather than being scared of failing is a mindset shift that needs to happen for all of us, for both employers and employees. Understanding that your job won't be there forever. I was coaching with a client today and she said, well, I really want to change my hours, but what if they don't come back? I said, well, what if, God forbid, they die and they don't come?
Yeah.
There's no guarantees in life, Here's one client, then you figure out how to get another one.
Yeah, definitely.
If they cripple you from improving your business because you might lose them, and you have to explain the value and the benefits for them, why these changes are necessary. And then after you've done all you can, life happens.
Yeah, it does.
Normalizing that things may go wrong, you might fail, but we'll always learn more from our failures than our successes. The quicker you fail, they say fail faster or fail better.
Faster and better. Okay.
So you can get to these failures, the closer you are to a success.
Of course.
So let's do it fast. Let's learn the lessons quickly,
and then let's get on with it. Okay, go on, lady.
The job hopping is a part of life. You might try a different thing and you don't like it. Don't wait for the right opportunity. At the book launch, I had a young African lady who is studying business, and it's exciting, and she wants to be an entrepreneur but doesn't know where to start. There's so many ideas, but really doesn't feel particularly drawn to one. And so I said, well, so what have you done? And she's like, nothing so far. I'm still waiting for the idea. And I thought, well, doing something is always better than doing nothing. So if you have multiple passions and you don't know where to start with one. It might be the right one, and you go ahead and you go all the way. or it may be the wrong one, but it will lead you to the right one. But if you're sitting and waiting for this divine time or this dream job, this dream opportunity, this dream business to land in your lap, who knows how long it'll take, and how are you going to pay your bills in the meantime whilst this is coming? Sometimes you just have to get in motion to start, and then the net will appear. Jump, the net will appear. Start, and then the direction will come. If you're going to take a journey, you need to get in the car, help the thing along. Dreaming alone doesn't get the results you want. So let's normalize trying different things, and if it's not working, quitting early so you can get on with the next aspect of your life.
Yeah.
The fourth aspect on here in terms of myth busting beliefs and careers is going at your own pace. And again, we tend to, the more ambitious or the more overachieving people tend to compare with each other. Oh, they started a business when they were 15 and now 55, and I'm still wishing and thinking it might be a bit too late for me. But understanding that you can go at your own pace, and whatever level you are, that's the right level for you right now.
Okay.
But going. And sometimes I have a graph that I call your hierarchy of priorities, and it's based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So right at the bottom we have your food, safety, shelter, the basics, and then afterwards you go on to your mental health, and then you go on to the job that you're doing right now, and then you have your aspirations, and then becoming the best version of yourself. Sometimes you're working on your aspirations, and then there's a life event. You get pregnant, there's a death in the family, there's dependents that come up, your health deteriorates, and you have to put those things in hold and make sure that your foundations are secure again, whether you prioritize your health then, or you attend to your dependents, or whatever it is, deal with the mental problem or emotional problems that are happening before you then start reaching again for your aspirations. But understanding that it goes in ups and downs, and we're all at different levels.
Yeah.
And whatever place you're going, or whatever stage you are at, it's good enough for you right now. But keeping in the motion is the only thing that you need to control. Just understand. Maybe I'm on a downward swing, but after the bottom line goes up again, and being prepared for that going up, and you climb even higher on your next upswing. Yeah. So normalizing this, going at your own pace without any guilt, any shame, any ill feelings, any jealousy towards other people that are on different levels, because we all have different challenges in our lives, right? The fifth aspect of myth busting is taking these clues from your life as to what you should be doing, whether it's what you naturally gravitate to, what your interests are currently, because interests shift as well with trends, with more exposure to different areas of life. Our interest and what we gravitate towards shifts. So paying attention to these clues, life clues and passions, and how we can incorporate them into doing something that we can make our career or our vocation that's fulfilling is really important. And then finally, applying that once we understand what our passions and interests and gravitations are, knowing that we can apply it into any career. So we're not hung up on what the job title is, what the label is, what the level is at, but knowing that my key skill, my core skill is connecting with people, building relationships, working with people, whatever it is, and how can I apply it in maybe my job as a cleaner, maybe my job as a lawyer, maybe my job as a software engineer. How can I apply connecting with people in that? and normalizing applying the genius rather than labeling yourself what the genius is. It's an application to a role, a vocation that's going to be fulfilling and profitable for you. And that's what makes it a career. It's profitable because it gives you income, it gives you benefits, it gives you recognition, expertise, all of that stuff. But it's also fulfilling to you. That's the difference between having a career and just having a job title that means nothing to you.
Well, listeners, you want some myth busted when it comes to some beliefs in your career? That's what we've done for you this afternoon. But Linda, before we you ran up the points that you put across, I've summarized it. Now, is there a way that if somebody finds themselves in this situation, I've really got something that I can do something about, they can train themselves, they can better themselves up? Because I believe that if you want to sell yourself, few times I was said on this platform, you have to make sure that you've bettered yourself, if there's any word like that. So that you are sellable before you move that. Now, do you think there is a chance that when somebody has all this, with all this stuff like that, they are able to better themselves before they do that presentation to their bosses or whoever to sell themselves?
Absolutely. I think if you need the skills, you need a particular skill set to better yourself to get to the next level, then you'll be doing yourself a disservice by not taking that extra training or retraining or whatever it is, even if you're doing it part-time alongside what you're currently doing. But I always say that don't wait for someone to promote you. You do the training, you promote yourself, you invest in yourself, because after that you can use it as a negotiation tool. We always think, when I become a manager, then I will learn how to communicate, or I'll learn how to give presentations. But how about learn how to give the presentations now, and then use it as a negotiation tool for why you should become manager, because you already have those skills. So changing the way we look at it, and of course, even in the word that you say, in bettering yourself, there's no downside in bettering yourself, whether you use it now or 10 years down the line. You've still taken that training, and it gives you the confidence, it gives you the competence as well to be able to then showcase that when you're going for the next level of success. And it just helps, because if you take a proactive interest in you and you invest in yourself, somebody else wants to invest in you because you see the value, so they'll see the value. See the value in yourself, then it's much harder to convince someone to see value in you. Because if nobody's investing, why would I?
Of course. All right, so can you just sum it up and then put the contact details so that our listeners can contact you, and of course the books.
Yes. Okay, so in summary, we've been talking about what you can do at this current stage of your life, of your career, of your journey, to make yourself better, or to position yourself better to reach the goals that you've set for yourself. So it's all about you, and we've been talking about it's okay to reinvent yourself. It's okay to combine your interests and create a hybrid career. It's okay to fail and try new things. It's okay to go at your own pace because it's not a race. It's okay to take clues from your life's interest and your gravitations and your passions. It's okay to invest that effort over time to attain that mastery in that. And it's okay to apply your genius into your career rather than being hung up in a job title. And all of these makes sure that you invest in yourself and that you can reach those goals that you set for yourself quicker and in a shorter amount of time and in the most sustainable way possible, so that you're not getting there and then getting back down, but you're going from peak to peak in the goals that you've set for yourself. So if you want to know more about this, it's all written in some lovely, lovely books, which is called the Career Books. It's a series, a trilogy of 3 books, which shows you how to decide what career to go into. It shows you how to improve yourself once you've identified what career to go into, whether it's to network together, to showcase yourself. We spoke about communication. Communicate those talents that you've got. Communicate that you're the best person for the job. Communicate that trial and error and bringing new ideas into your business. It shows you all of that, how to network, how to get the right contacts, and also how to build a legacy in what you do. And then, of course, the bestseller is the Career Workbook, which is your own self-check mechanism of where am I? Does this still meet what I want to do? Am I still on track to achieve my goal? Because you can't hit a target you don't have, or you can't. So the Career Workbook puts the target in front of you. It gives you an aim to be able to see in black and white what you've achieved and how far you've got to go. So that's it. We've got the How to Career, the Career Success, and the Career Workbook that will help you to achieve your personal professional goals. You can, of course, find that on my website, lindapallien.com. It's on Amazon, it's on Book Depository, it's on Waterstones Online. I forget where it's listed. It's everywhere, pretty much. If you type in Linda Pallien and career books, you should come up with them. Or you can contact me directly on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram at Linda Pallien or at my cheerleader. Because as I say, I'm a cheerleader for people. That is my cause and my career, and I can be a cheerleader for you as well. These books are so affordable. They're between 15 to 20 pounds, or 20 euros or $20, wherever you are listening from. And they're ship on demand, so you'll get them within a few days, and you can start getting in the driving seat and taking your career to the next level. So definitely get in touch. www.lindapallien.com.
Linda, let me say thank you very much for that wonderful presentation once again.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Have a lovely day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Well, listeners, that has been HRH Linda Pallien for you, bringing you Career 101. Looking at what? Some myth-busting some beliefs in career to excel. Somebody, I remember when we were having a chat with Chris Fadele, she was saying that, well, the sky is not your limit. You can go beyond that. Okay? Yes, so you can go beyond that. Make sure you go to our podcast session when this broadcast ends, which is virtually ended, and then re-listen to it, because it's going to help you a great deal. And let me say thank you very much to all my guests today who have been on the show. I'm bringing you various segments there, to Chris Fadele and Linda Pallien all the way in Cyprus, and to all of you who tuned in to listen to me this day. I say thank you very much, and to Gina as well, Sister Gina Laja, who was also listening in, and to all the various people who joined to listen to us today. God richly bless you. But remember, this afternoon exactly at 5 p.m. the On Point Show will be coming your way with the one and only Regina Nana Enima. She'll be coming your way with the On Point Show. So on that note, let me say have a top of the day, enjoy your day. But let me bring you the rest of the Christmas tune this morning. And I say bye-bye for now. I'm out like that.
If you really wanna be happy.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7. Thanks for listening.